Kendrick Lamar outsells Drake with GNX. My. How have the tables turned? How the tables have turned, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, you know we always gonna talk about Drake and Kendrick Lamar because it's inevitable at this point. These guys are always gonna be in the headlines, always in the news, mainly because Drake always says some stuff. But anyway, let's talk about this, man. So recently, there's been a battle for the top of the charts. Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Now look at this. It says Kendrick Lamar beats Drake and Party Next Door on albums charts by 500 units. Okay, it was real close. All right, so GNX was a November release, has notched a third non-consecutive week as the number one album in the U.S. All right, so it says results for Billboard 200 arrived well over 24 hours behind schedule, likely due to an unusually close finish between the top three albums, which was Lamar's GNX back at number one with a total of 90,500 units, and then followed by Drake and Party Next Door, Some Sexy Songs for You with 90,000 units. Okay, and Tate McRae. I don't even know who that is. So yeah, so Kendrick jumped over Drake. Now, the reason that this is a big deal is because one, it's the beef, and two, Drake's fans, the stands, have been trying to say that Drake didn't fall off. They're trying to make every excuse in the book, and I have some excuses that I'm going to show in a second. But what this shows is that Kendrick is the hottest rapper that's out. This is Kendrick's era. As Elliot Wilson says, this is the dot era. Kendrick Lamar not only has the number one album in the country, ladies and gentlemen, he also has the number one song for a second or a third consecutive week. Luther with SZA. Kendrick is dominating the top 10 of the Hot 100. And he's the first rapper of this year to have a number one album and a number one song in the country. Okay. Now, he's hotter than Drake. Simply put, is that he won the beef. He's on his victory lap, and it's going to continue for the rest of 2025. So all you OV hoes, all you Drake fans who are upset, you have to be able to accept it. Okay. Drake has somewhat of accepted it because he keeps addressing it. Right. You gotta be able to accept it. So I'm not surprised. Now, the thing that stings the worst, like the article said, this is going on month number 4 for Kendrick Lamar for GNX. So how does an album, and we're going to compare, Kendrick Lamar dropped in November. Drake just dropped 2 weeks ago. But Kendrick's album that dropped in November is outselling Drake's album that he just put out. That's what hurts the most right there. That's what Drake fans are really just, oh, that just hurts. That hurts. So the fact that an album that is damn near 4 months old outsells an album from the most popular rapper out right now, right? Which I'll say Drake is bigger than Kendrick, all this other stuff, right? Numbers wise, he's out of here. Then how come he's not able to outsell a 4-month album? Why is that? Now, the first thing, we're going to look at the coping mechanisms of the OV hoes, okay? And I wrote a whole list for them. So the first thing that they're going to say is the bots. All the bots. Oh my God, UMG got the bots for Kendrick Lamar to surpass Drake, to be over Drake. So we can't take these numbers serious. How come it was this close? You can't tell me that UMG isn't working behind the scenes, twiddling their fingers. Ha 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 ha. So they blame the bots. The second thing that the coping mechanism is for the OV hoes is it's an R&B album. Keep in mind, this is an R&B album. It's a narrative that's pushed that, okay, if it's not as successful as the other Drake projects, it's because it's an R&B album. It's an R&B album, which is a fail because that album ain't all R&B. The hottest songs from that album, which is Nokia, that is a rap song. The other hottest song is Give Me a Hug, which is falling down from the charts. That is a rap song. He only sings at the very, very, very end. The 2 songs that are popular are rap songs, and Drake is on most of that album. So that's the second thing. It's an R&B album. So if it don't sell that much, it's okay. It's an R&B album, rap compared to R&B. When does that even matter? If an album is good, an album is good. SZA could be selling something, and Lil Yachty could be selling something. As long as those albums are good, it don't matter what genre it is. So now you want to bring up the genre. Keep in mind it's an R&B album. That's what they put up there to try to make the wound not feel as bad. So the third coping mechanism for the OV hoes is it's really a Party Next Door album. Yeah, see, Drake is just featured on there. It's really a Party Next Door album because it's Party Next Door and Drake. It's a joint album. Drake has more songs on there than Party Next Door. Okay. And for it to be some sexy songs for you, it didn't even feel like a lot of those songs were for the ladies. It felt like it was for the moist boys that are out there, but that's neither here nor there. So that's the third thing. You ain't fooling us, okay? What I say is that this is a Drake album disguised as a Party Next Door album to make Drake not look like he took a L, because Drake is very strategic. Drake knew, okay, I took this L from the battle. If I put out anything of mine that just has my name on it and my name on it only, I have to make sure that it's not just a full-fledged Drake album, because if it doesn't sell well, they'll be able to say that I fell off. But if I don't sell as much as Kendrick, it's okay because it's an R&B concept album, and also it's a joint album with Party Next Door. But if it does sell a lot, man, this is good. Drake is back. All right, so let's look at the fourth coping mechanism for the OV hoes. Drake was the most streamed artist last year. Kendrick ain't messing with him. So they like to go to the past. There have been a bunch of Drake stands and Aubrey's Angels in my comments from my damn near 4-month-old video where we're talking about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And their whole thing is, I'm like, what about now? What about now? I know that he is the most streamed rapper of all time and all this other stuff, but what about now? In 2025, is Drake outselling Kendrick Lamar? Is he outstreaming Kendrick Lamar? The answer is no, he's not. It's Kendrick's time, okay? You keep talking about the past, but you don't want to talk about the future or the present. And in present and currently, Kendrick is dominating Drake, okay? Drake, Nokia is his first hit that he's had since last year. Did he even have any hits last year? I don't even think Drake had a hit last year, to be honest. 2024. Did he have a hit? Yeah, because I think it was just the battle, and then that was it. Drake didn't have no hits last year. So this is the first Drake hit in a while, probably in a year. So that's one thing. So that's another coping mechanism they have. Well, Drake still, had a successful year last year. And then the last coping mechanism, Drake sold more records than Kendrick. Kendrick has a lot to catch up to. Drake been outsold Kendrick. Kendrick needs to get up to speed with Drake. Okay. Anything but Kendrick won the battle, and Kendrick is dominating the charts. This is Kendrick's year. And I always say this: where's Drake's #1 single? Where's Drake's top 5 single that he usually does? Where's Drake's platinum album? Where is Drake right now? Okay. Numbers wise, he's not touching Kendrick Lamar. Streaming wise, he's not touching Kendrick Lamar. And album sales wise, he's not touching Kendrick Lamar. These are the facts. But instead of just saying, Kendrick, this is your year, enjoy it, all you do, you OV hoes, is try to create ways to make Drake not look like he didn't took a L. And it wouldn't be that bad if y'all would stop comparing it. Okay, because I'm past it. I know that Kendrick won. I'm not trying to see no sales battles or nothing like that, because I know what the outcome is going to be for this year. This is Kendrick's year. Okay. The man just did the Super Bowl. Ain't no topping that, ladies and gentlemen. And let me talk about this too, because a lot of y'all are talking about, oh, Drake can do the World Cup, and the World Cup get way more views than the Super Bowl. Guess what? America doesn't care. We're the ones who created hip hop, foundational Black Americans. We're the ones that created battle rap. So what I'm saying that, and I'm not just talking about Black people when I'm talking about this rap beef, we cared about it in America because that's where this music comes from. That's our culture. That's our get down. The world just can see that. But the same crowd that's going to be at that World Cup is not the same crowd that's going to be at the Super Bowl. Even if it's more viewers, all those viewers even know who Drake is? So that was ridiculous. But y'all look for any type of thing that y'all can say regarding the whole Drake and Kendrick thing to make Drake not look like he's taking the L. If it's not, like for example, the U.S. Apple Music charts, Nokia and Luther have been battling for that number one spot. 1 minute, Drake is number one. Second minute, Kendrick is number one. All right, y'all talk about that and pay attention to that. But on Spotify, you don't want to bring up Spotify. But if Drake was dominating on Spotify, you would highlight that. You highlight everything good Drake is doing, right? To make it not look like he took his L, but get over it. I'm tired of it. And I know you're tired of it. You're not even getting paid. Well, some of y'all are, because I saw a thing floating around on Twitter that y'all are getting paid to stream and promote Drake's album. I've seen that. I just don't feel like looking for it, but I've seen that. All right. Now, is Kendrick using bots? UMG using bots? Possibly. Wouldn't be surprised. Drake has used bots several times. They probably using bots right now. But guess what? Kendrick is still the victor. It's Kendrick's year. Ain't no denying that. And if Drake is being sabotaged, I said this before, it's his fault because he's suing his record label. It is what it is. All right. So, OV hoes, get over it. Like I said, I'm tired of it. And I know some of y'all not even getting paid for this. So, y'all should be tired of it too. It's the dot era. Get used to it. Now, the last thing